Hiya, I'm Jack. I run Jack's Instrument Services, guitar repair workshop in Manchester. Okay, so what we do at the workshop is anything to do with repairing and upgrading, modifying guitars, basses, acoustic guitars, and folk instruments as well. So think of it as like a garage, but for guitars instead. The way I began doing this was basically just through growing up. I was a Lego kid, so I'd always be totally taking things apart, and I played guitar at the same time, so of course my instruments were in bits at all times, getting modified and messed around with. And then, yeah, it then branched on to working on friends' guitars and people from college and stuff like that. And then I actually managed to get a job in a repair shop in Leicester called Sheehan's Music. When I first started at my own company, it was very much a slow beginning, but when you've got a little more time, you can put time into doing things like getting the website running and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I used to run the workshop from my house in Salford, did that for 3 years there, and then moved out into this place here. And yeah, that was about, well, the workshop's going on 11 years in September. So yes, been doing a little while as my own company anyway now. But yeah, it's picked up, it's snowballed, keep working hard and keep trying to look after people basically. Me and my staff, we deal with absolutely anyone. So you don't have to be a pro, you can be just starting out, session musician, whatever, anywhere in between. We're not fussy. Like to give everyone the same kind of service. However, we've had a few names in. Yeah, we had Aziz Ibrahim in a couple of weeks ago. We had the manager of the Doves dropping off a few things. She didn't want to let slip, but I suspect they were the Doves items, yeah. BC Camplight's guitarist in yesterday. And we also sorted out the stuff for Blossoms when they were starting out their tour last year. But we're now also the authorised UK service centre for ESP Ltd guitars. So that's quite a few shops we're looking after the warranty service stuff for as well. You know, you don't have to be from Manchester, so there's quite a few session musicians that will courier guitars up to us. So yeah, we've had this guy sprayed up in a gorgeous metal flake finish, if it's your thing. If it's not your thing, it's very horrible. Yeah, so this has not just had the paint job done, we've done all manner of things to it, but our kind of day-to-day thing we end up doing is the setup work, of course. So setups, as you may or may not know, it's all about getting it comfortable to play and also sounding and sounding nice and playing nice, so it's nice and comfortable. So normally what we'd do in a setup is we'll inspect how low the strings are, which is dependent on a few things. So we adjusted truss rods, it's very sensitive, you've got to get it right. Each of the cuts in the nut needs sawing down to a very specific depth and width, very important again. And the most common action adjustment is what most people know about already, which is down at the bridge. So between 1, 2 and 3 things, they're responsible for getting your setup nice and low. However, you've got to have your frets, you know, perfectly true. If there's a high, low fret, a loose fret, something like that, it's going to cause all manner of problems. And then, yeah, if you take those all those things in consideration, you can end up with a real nice playing guitar. This fella turned up brand new, but we're going for a J Mascis tribute. So that involved total respray on the matching headstock as well. Pair of new pickups are on order still. Pickguards, original one it came with, but we've changed out the trem to a branded Fender one as well. But I'll be honest, the ones that are most satisfying are ones that come in that are totally wrecked, snapped in half, covered in stickers, covered in beer, that kind of thing. And when you finish it up, you've got a real transformation. This was really nice to begin with, and now it happens to be sparkly pink as well. We make a lot of custom pickguards. The beauty of them is they are flat and about the same size as a record, so you can post them. So we get a load of the pickguards in the post. For instance, Mr. David has dropped us in this lovely piece of Yamaha, which we're halfway through cutting at the minute. So yeah, there's always a fresh supply of pickguards to make and post out all over the world. The pickguards is more of a necessity really, because there's so many guitars that this is the main part of the fascia for it. This is a good example for it. So they've become quite popular, really. So we're doing more and more of them, and the fact that they can go anywhere in the world kind of helps, really. So yeah, more and more of them, and we're also trying to start doing a few more things like pre-soldered wiring looms for all types of guitar, so bits that you can screw straight into a Telecaster. You know, you can install it without using a soldering iron yourself and stuff like that. So not just standard things, so we're thinking about doing custom stuff, so clever switches and cool sounds and stuff like that you can easily install. So plenty of that coming up for sure.
I am Adam Dolan. I am a luthier here at Jack's Instrument Services. It's very nice to work for, very understanding and very patient with, you know, teaching and learning the ropes. So yeah, very grateful. Well, a bit before I sort of started here, I started up my own company, Dolan Custom Guitars, and it's sort of come on leaps and bounds sort of since then. So so do everything, you know, obviously normal guitars, sort of basses, 5 strings, 4 strings. You know, any kind of type of scale you like and different types of woods. So I've now stocked a Great British Bass Lounge over in Congleton. So I've got a couple there. Well, I've had 2 that I've already sold there. So 2 more are going sort of within probably the time you watch this video. So if you want to check out a custom bass, check them out. And yeah, my sort of idea is, you know, it's offering that boutique high-end thing at, you know, I say a respectable price. But offering that, you know, custom build, so if you ordered one, you'd get everything from start to finish. You'd get updates of, you know, what's going on, where it's at, and you'd see the piece of wood and see it come to life, you know, to when you actually, you know, get it in your hands, and, you know, you can keep all those photos for future. Yeah, so Adam came to us, obviously, you know, knowing each other, he knew sort of where I worked from here, so yeah, he contacted us and brought his what seems to be very much a workhorse space into us with a few issues. So we, you know, did the usual thing like we do with anyone that brings a guitar here. We took a good look at it and found out where the sort of problems are and where things can be improved. This one particularly, the nut was quite high, the truss rod was a little loose, and the bridge also had, I don't know what, it had been dunked in the sea or something, I'm not sure, but it was very rusty. You'll probably see some photos at some point. So yeah, we sorted all that out basically and made it new again, almost. Like what a lot of people do with these guitars is, you know, you get a nice bass project and then you start adding all the bits to it. So he's, you know, upgraded the pickups, but he also is upgraded to an East preamp, which is that thing there, which also has, you know, all active EQ. But the problem with it is the battery has to go inside the cavity. So if during a show you need to change your battery, you need to get your screwdrivers out, which isn't ideal. So what we've done is we've made a little hole there with a router. So basically, so there's a nice little catch there, so you can just whip the battery out, put a new one in, and, you know, Bob's your uncle, you can carry on with the show.
As we're based in Manchester, a lot of the setup work and stuff like that requires inspection and such. So of course we need the guitar here, but it's great to come and meet folks. You know, we discover what they want and, you know, we figure out how to make that happen for them basically. We'll work through couriers as well, so we get a good stream of guitars arriving through couriers as well. There's a certain risk involved, of course, in case it gets damaged and such, but yeah, mostly it seems to be, for the setup crowd, it's mostly folks that are relatively local, so northwest. We get people from Sheffield, Liverpool quite a lot. But like I say, things like pickguards and wiring, totally anywhere, it's all good. Well, you can find loads about the workshop that I run here, Jack's Instrument Services, at www.jacksinstrumentservices.com.